Hey, how's everyone doing out there? I wanted to get a quick message out there today to talk about my run for a seat on the Lac du Flambeau school board. Now, I know that everybody that sees this is not going to be a potential voter, but you all have influence, and with social media today, the world is at everyone's fingertips, so you really hold a lot of power. So I'm going to need everybody's help, and I'm doing this because not only do I have children, but I have grandchildren, and I have many people that I care about, and I care about these kids because these kids are ultimately our future. And so Lac du Flambeau is a very unique situation because it's an Indian reservation, but it's also a township. So there's multiple governments at play. There's like overlapping jurisdictions. And so the Lac du Flambeau tribe, the tribal council, is the governing body for the tribe. It's a sovereign nation within a nation. You have the Lac du Flambeau town board, the Lac du Flambeau township, and they're separate from the council. And that's a non-native entity, governing entity for the town. And much in the same aspect, the Lac du Flambeau Public School, which is a K through 8 school, is a public school, but it's located within the confines of the exterior boundaries of the reservation. So it's a unique relationship and a unique dynamic. And we need to understand that much of the educational offerings that our children receive at this school come from a Euro-Western perspective. That's the world we live in. However, within the confines of the reservation, the school being within the confines of the reservation, it serves a majority up to 97% Native population. So a majority of our kids that go to the school are Native American. And so we really need to understand that dynamic. And what I want to do is I want to bring a Native voice to the school board. I want to have input, I want to have direction, and I ultimately am going to need guidance from the community, from parents, from grandparents. We have many grandparents that are acting as parents to their grandchildren, and I'm going to need your help in this endeavor. One of the things I'd really like to see happen with this school is go to a more project-based learning model. One of my children goes to Arborvita Woodruff School, also known as AVW in the area, and that's an expeditionary learning school. And if you don't know what that means, in a nutshell, it's a project-based learning model where students get all the rigors of education, of their academics, but they do so in a project-based learning model where they do hands-on learning. They do a lot of field work. They go out into the field and receive the rigors of their education performing projects in the forest, or they go to different cultural events and learn about other cultures through these different experiences. And I'd like to see that happen more within our community. Now, I know I'm not going to go there and change the whole dynamic and the whole direction of the school, but I think little by little, with incremental changes, that we can shape this school to function more to our needs. And as Native people, our students, our Native students, they learn differently than a non-Native student. We learn by experience. We learn through touch and taste and sight, and doing these projects with a hands-on approach. And I think that our students need to be prepared when they are approaching the finish line at 8th grade. They need to be prepared to go to high school. And I've heard countless stories, and I have 2 high schoolers that are currently going to Lakeland and 2 that are fastly approaching going to Lakeland. And I'm hearing countless stories of students not being prepared for the academic rigors that high school presents. And so I want to make sure that we are doing everything we can to provide those opportunities for our kids so that they're not left behind. Now, Lakeland has done a great job in elevating the graduation rate for non-native students. And I'd like to even see that increase even more. And I think through our efforts together, addressing these issues, that we can do that. Now, there are many other dynamics at play. You know, we have drugs and alcohol, not just in Lac du Flambeau, we have that everywhere. So that's another dynamic, another issue we have to deal with. We have historic trauma that many people don't understand how that manifests itself in our students' behavior and their performance in school. So we need mechanisms to not only identify those things, but also to treat those things and to build our students into successful young people. So together, hopefully you're going to give me your support on April 3rd, and I'll look forward to doing more of these, and I'll look forward to hearing your comments and your suggestions and your voice, because ultimately I'm going to be your voice if you give me your vote of confidence.